Kevin, you chose me as your attorney, and that was the best day of my professional life. Yesterday was the worst day of my professional life. I can't tell you how much I regret that I let you down. But I want you to know that if you choose to move forward with me and with us, nothing like that will ever happen again.
Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be breaking down and discussing the new sneak peek promo trailer for Season 5, Episode 7 of Better Call Saul JMM. Spoilers for everything up to episode 506. This sneak peek features Kim and Rich talking to Kevin, trying to keep Mesa Verde as a client. Kim starts out by saying how the best day of her career is when Mesa Verde chose her, and how yesterday was the worst day of her career. And that reminds me a lot of when Chuck called the chicanery incident the worst moment of his career, or just his life in general. Now, the teaser opening flashback for 506 shows that Kim did have a hard life. She wasn't trying to con Mr. Acker. She is sincere, and as much as this pulls at your heartstrings, being sincere and telling her backstory, which is kind of a sob story and a pity party, she does do it to get what she wants. Even though, I want to know about her backstory, I think it's cool that the writers fit this in. They wanted to try and fit in a moment where they could tell us about her backstory but not have it be too contrived, and so I guess this is what they figured out. So even though Kim's not using a lie here to manipulate someone, she's using the truth to manipulate someone, and so even though I really feel for her, I still feel like she's doing that thing that Mr. Acker called her out for. I'm not trying to hate Kim here, quite the opposite. I do wish that we could just get Kevin to fall for her and have everyone live happily ever after, and maybe even to this point I'm playing the devil's advocate, but I'm just really second guessing now whenever she has a big speech or spiel. I'm not sure if it's Kim's fault or Saul's fault, but whenever someone seems like they're saying something sincere from the heart, the show makes me second guess it now. The constant question throughout this entire season is, where's Kim's head at? And I love it. So I think this season is very much Kim's season in the way that season 3 was kinda Chuck's season. Anyways, back to the sneak peek. When Kim tells Kevin that something like this will never happen again if he decides to keep them, Kim looks at Rich and he nods and agrees as if they talked about this beforehand. Now that's not surprising or anything, they're associates, so Kevin has to decide to keep both of them on. I assume it's kinda Rich's decision to keep Kim on himself, but yeah, so they're both in agreement that they want Mesa Verde as a client still, and they're trying to convince Kevin.
No one's denying that things went off course, but let's keep in mind that over the last 18 months, we've opened 24 new branches, and until Tucumcari, the legal work has been flawless.
Well, Kim, you dropped the ball, that's for sure.
And speaking of Kevin, I just feel kind of bad for Kevin. He's just so done with the lawyer stuff at this point. He's just so done with everything. And I mean, that scene in the last episode perfectly kind of showed that without needing to even say anything. And who can really blame him after the tornado that Saul put him through? He's just so done. I'm not sure if he's gonna go back to putting a smile on his face and taking Kim back, or if he's just gonna say the hell of it and just hire a bunch of new people, have a completely clean slate. Like, I don't even know. He's been completely dedicated and faithful and trustful to Kim, so you think that he might give her another chance, but at the same time, he is just so done with lawyer stuff in a way that he's never been before. Even with Paige defending Kim, saying that all of her work has been flawless up until Tucumcari, which is the situation with Mr. Acker and Saul, Paige has always seemingly had Kim's back. Even when she's had to disagree with Kim, it's usually been because that's what Kevin wants. She does take sides with Kevin sometimes, but she always tries to convince Kevin of Kim's ways. She always tries to defend Kim first, or she always tries to, at least offer her option. And with Kevin, there's been a few times where there's been this sort of fake out situation where it seems like he's going to be mad at Kim, but then he just seems fine, like he's figured it out, or he's happy, or he wants Kim to stay instead of her to go, and then he thinks that it's Mr. Acker's fault, not Kim's fault. There's been a bunch of fake out situations where you think that he's going to be mad at Kim, or you think that he's going to lay down the hammer here, and then he's like, no, I want Kim. I want her on my side. I don't want anyone to take her from me. And then with the same thing with Mr. Acker, he didn't think that it was Kim working against him one bit. He just has complete faith and trust in Kim, so for him to let her go would be a huge deal here. So I don't know what's gonna happen here. Is it gonna be another fake out where you think that Kevin is gonna fire Kim, but then he actually ends up keeping her and Schweikert and Coakley at the end of the day? Or is this actually finally the last straw with him? Is he finally going to let Kim go and say that he's done with all of this. Also, in my previous video about the 507 promo trailer, I told you guys that I wanted to discuss more about a scene that's shown with Rich and Kim talking to Kevin privately, and Kim tells Kevin that they owe him the truth.
We owe you the truth.
I'm not sure if this scene happens before or after the sneak peek, but if it happens afterwards, then it could be a very serious situation showing Kim trying to save her job. Kim is probably going to tell Kevin some sort of half-truth here. Even though they're saying that he deserves the truth, they're still probably going to lie to him in some way to get what they want. But the thing is, as we know in episode 505, Rich implied to Kim that he knows what she's up to with Jimmy. He knows that she's a good lawyer, he doesn't want to lose her, and in a way that's really understanding and nice of him, but he's smart and he knows what she's been up to the whole time, been in cahoots with Jimmy, putting him up to absolutely everything. And episode 506 is kind of a different story. It's crazy when Kim sicks Saul on a situation. She tries to reel him back, but she can't. Once she gets him to, gives him the go-ahead with something, she can't control him, she can't tell him to stop when she wants to, and it kind of makes sense because if she was going to tell him to stop, she should have done it in episode 505, and it was kind of crazy that she even, went through with trying to save everything in 506 just to have Saul go through with everything anyways. Such a back and forth way to subvert my expectations. I'll talk about that more in the episode review when I get around to it. Anyways, given the context with Rich knowing everything that's up behind the curtain, when Kim says that she's going to tell Kevin the truth, Rich actually knows the truth. Is Rich going to make her tell him the actual truth, or is Rich gonna lie alongside her and maybe tell a half-truth to make peace and keep Kim on board, keep her career, even though he knew the whole time what Kim was truly up to? I thought that Rich would have been more of an asshole here, or that he would have threatened her more, or maybe threatened her career because he knew what she was truly up to. I sound like a broken record, but as I said, he seems really nice and understanding. He seems to really like her as an employee, as an associate. She's really good with what she does. So it seems like he's giving her, way more leniency than I initially thought. And then also in the promo trailer, there's a scene with Rich and Kim talking to each other in a hallway, and Kim's walking away from what I said in my last video looks like a pretty serious conversation. I'm not sure if this is before or after they talk to Kevin. Either time, let me know what you think. You're trying to fit the pieces together as far as chronological order the scenes go, but it could be them either talking beforehand about what they're gonna say together, or it could be afterwards with the aftermath of what Kevin's decision is. It may be either a relieving conversation because it might be Kim saving her job, or it could be a final conversation with Kim being let go, hopefully with respect, but also probably disappointment that things didn't turn out better. I feel like if Kim can keep Mesa Verde as a client, then she keeps her job, but if she loses Mesa Verde, then she might lose her job in association with Schweikart and Coakley. And by the way, Schweikart and Coakley, Werner Ziegler. A lot of things I can mispronounce, but I'm trying here, and then I can't speak Spanish, but I try there too, so just bear with me on this. Anyways, let me know what your guys' final thoughts are about this whole Kim and Mesa Verde situation, and also with Rich. I doubt that they're actually going to be honest with everything, that Kim and Jimmy were in cahoots with everything from the second that Jimmy got hired as Mr. Acker's lawyer. Let me know what you guys think. And Sean in the Dark here, I just thought of a random theory. What if Kim actually kind of fumbles on her own? Like, what if everything goes her way, Kevin decides to keep her, Rich decides to keep her, Rich decides to keep everything sort of a secret, everything, everyone makes peace, everyone lives happily ever after, Kim gets what she wants and she keeps her job. But then, for some reason, she breaks and she tells Kevin the truth anyways. Kevin decides to keep her initially, but then she tells him the truth, and then who knows if he's gonna be understanding or not. He might completely freak out and feel betrayed, but either way, I feel like he'd let her go and then she'd lose her job, and who knows, she might even get disbarred over it, just because she feels like she has to tell the truth here after everything that's happened. Do you guys think that she's gonna do that, or is she gonna get away with it? Oh, and if you guys don't already know, I actually uploaded 2 videos yesterday. I didn't just upload the promo trailer breakdown, I also uploaded a video earlier on, right before episode 506 aired, where I called the nail salon phone number and we sort of reacted to it. It was this whole thing, so be sure to check that out if you haven't yet already. The link to it will be at the end of the video. Speaking of which, I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything that I've said today, and if you're new here or haven't yet already, subscribe and hit that bell notification for updates on whenever I post more content on Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. As always, I thank you guys all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out!